Right. Divine Masculine energy check-in today. We are going to get their thoughts, their feelings, intentions, actions. Let's start off with a card for their thoughts. Divine Masculine thoughts. We have the Judgment in reverse. Their feelings. Oh, okay. 2 cards for their feelings. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Devil. And what about their intentions or actions? Divine Masculine. Well, now we got to see if that is in reverse or is that in the upright. It seemed like in the reverse, but it does also feel like in the upright. No, we're gonna go with reverse. Okay, right, let's do this. Thoughts for the Divine Masculine. Judgment in reverse. Okay, we've got the Knight of Wands in reverse. Page of Wands. 7 of Pentacles. Instantly I'm hearing there's nothing to lose. So in their mind, they could be thinking, well, there's nothing to lose, right? There's nothing to lose. Probably the Divine Masculine at this time is in an open energy of trying, exploration. Let's see where it goes. Maybe something will come of it. Now, there's not a rush or like an impulsivity to do it, I think. But it's probably not the way this Divine Masculine usually thinks. It's like this isn't the way they usually process their thoughts and decide to do things. They're probably more concrete or solid, or, you know, like there's a specific focus in the way they do things. This is kind of like offhand energy where it's like, well, there's nothing to lose, so let's just see where it goes. It's that kind of energy. It feels like a Divine Masculine that wants to maybe explore something and just see if something will come of it, right? What about their feelings with the Four of Pentacles and the Devil? Okay. And their feelings, yeah, you know, we read for the Divine Feminine, and I'm actually not sure which is going to get posted first. But they are in the same boat. They are both kind of choosing to maybe take a break from their feelings. I feel like with the masculine, they recognize how they need to put a lid on it, you know, like they kind of need to take a break, because, you know, with the Devil, the Divine Masculine has a tendency to let their feelings overcome them. They also feel very heavily when they're in their feelings. And so for now, this is a Divine Masculine that's choosing to take a break from that, to maybe move on from their feelings or hold back for now, just because they recognize how bad it can get when they allow themselves to be fully immersed in their feelings, right? So I think they don't really want to deal with anything that has to do with their feelings at this time. What about the intentions and actions of the Two of Cups in reverse? Okay, we need to clarify that Sun card. Yeah. Wow. Okay. You know what? Divine Masculine and Feminine are kind of mirroring their energies. They kind of have the same, you know, vibe. The masculine here is, you know, with the Two of Cups in reverse, you know, it's like, I'm not going to, also the same as the feminine. It's like, I'm not going to give if they're not going to give, you know. You know, in their mind, they're pretty clear that there's not a future in this unless something changes. And so it's a little bit of a defiant energy too, where they're like, well, I'm just going to be happy. You know, whether this works out or not, I'm going to choose to be happy. It kind of gives off that that feeling where it's forced, but it's what they're choosing to embody, the energy of someone like trying to not be affected. You feel like they don't really see that there is potential for a future here in this connection too, because there's like not a give and take in the energy. And I don't know if there's not a give and take in the effort, the time, the willingness, you know, whatever it may be. The difference is, I think it really pains this masculine when I look at the configuration of cards. It pains the masculine. Not that I'm saying that the feminine is not in pain, but the masculine here is showing up in a lot of pain with this, where it's like, well, if they don't want me, then you know what I mean? And the masculine is choosing to believe, I'm going to be happy anyway. I'm going to find happiness. This isn't going, if this isn't meant to be, then this isn't my happiness. It's kind of giving that vibe. So that's what we have for their thoughts, their feelings, their intentions, and actions. And of course, we're going to clarify further. See what else we need to see for this masculine. Masculine, you got the TikTok card. You've got pressure cooker. You've got tragedy. In their mind, they view this as like, it did not have a great start, I would say. To them, they look at it, it was eventually going to fall apart. It was eventually going to, erupt, or it was going to all blow out of proportion, something of that nature. It just feels like this masculine, when they think about the connection with the divine feminine, it had an expiration date. Like they knew it could not last. They knew that eventually the time would come where it would explode or fall apart. And given the context of the connection, obviously it's a forbidden love, and that probably would have been really the natural end that it would have gone to. And in their mind, that's how they see it. What about their feelings? Okay, feelings. A lot of people might be interested in this masculine's romantic life or something. Yeah, there's like a lot of eyes on them. There's a lot of gossip. People are talking, I guess, in this masculine's life. Whoever is surrounding them have something to say. I don't necessarily think, of course, it's something that's being said to them directly, but there's an energy of people talking about this masculine. And that entrapment card kind of tells me that people might feel that they were entrapped or they had entrapped, but I kind of feel like more so people are talking about how they might have put, they might have formulated a story about this masculine's romantic life. In this masculine's feelings, I think they hate it. They hate gossip. There's something about how they view that as such an irritating thing. It's nobody's business, right? It's like, even if it were true, let's say, it's like it's no one's business. And so I don't think this is a masculine that divulges much. They also don't like to talk about things that aren't their business, it seems. And the focus card kind of tells me that they're keeping their eye on the divine feminine somehow. I don't know in what way, but it feels very detached, and it feels very far away. So but there's like a continued interest, if that makes sense. So that's their feelings. What about intentions and actions? Yeah. Okay, intentions and actions. I mean, again, the energy that we get initially for their intentions and action is mostly it's bitterness, it's frustration, and probably some anger there too. That's why that's the intention and action, But looking deeper, soulmate, they obviously recognize that the divine feminine is their soulmate. They recognize that that's not something that's going to change. They're kind of locked in that knowing, right? And to be honest, yeah, there is anxiety, there's fear, there's panic in their energy, because that the way that they're approaching it, and the way that they are thinking of how to handle it, is to kind of deny it. There's some, you know, like that's how you save yourself from further pain, if you keep telling yourself something doesn't matter, right? And that's what I'm seeing that this masculine could be doing when it comes to the connection with the divine feminine. But beneath that is the recognition that, of course, the divine feminine is their soulmate. Of course, this is how they feel. But I think this is a masculine that's tired of feeling all of that. That's why they're shutting off their feelings. So that is what we have for their energy. And of course, I want to clarify further here and check out what potential love energy there is. Okay, got 2 cards out. This could be the one worth waiting for. Get 4 cards. Getting to know each other, forgiving and learning. And at the bottom of the deck is attraction. So the reminder here for this masculine is obviously the divine feminine is the one, right? You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. There's an encouragement here to maybe realize timing does matter, and maybe some things aren't meant to happen, that there is divine timing to consider. Getting to know each other as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. It's an encouragement. Get to know the other person more. And you know, this doesn't even have to really be done in person, honestly. If you're really interested in a person, you know, they say something, they mention something, and if you're genuinely interested, you will find out about that. Like if they mentioned a book they like to read, even if you don't like to read, you will try to find out, why does this person like this? What is of interest to them, right? Or if they mention something, you know, what could be the interest in that? You know, that's like genuine, sincere intention to really get to know the person that you love when you make those kinds of efforts. Now, I'm not saying that people that don't make that effort aren't in love. I'm just saying for this particular divine masculine, you can get to know your divine feminine more by doing things like that. Okay. So what that tells me is there must be a source of information somehow for this masculine to learn about it. And then forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. That is why divine timing is at play for this divine masculine and feminine, if there is an outcome for them. It's because there are still lessons needing to be learned here. Forgiveness is a big part of the journey, and you can't rush it. You have to sincerely feel forgiveness. You cannot force yourself to forgive. You cannot tell your mind, I should forgive. You need to be at the right time and place in your life to be open to what forgiveness really brings, which is acceptance and understanding. And that does take time. It cannot be forced. Okay? Attraction, you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. I would say this masculine already looks like they're dealing with a lot. And so if they need to be present in the present energy, then be present in the present energy. You know what I mean? Anyway, if this connection comes together, then it does, and it will, right? So further guidance for this masculine from the Archangel Michael Oracle deck. That card really wants to come out. I feel like I need to get 4. Okay, 1 more. Yep. Oh, that's quite a lot. And let me just get my glasses because I cannot read it. Your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. Okay, it says, please help me clearly hear, see, feel, and know the divine guidance that I have asked and prayed for. Allow me to keep my ego out of the way so your wisdom can come streaming through me for my own benefit and for those around me. It's time to leave this unhealthy situation. Archangel Michael, what parts of my life do I need to focus on more closely right now? Thank you for helping me hear your answers and for giving me the courage to make healthy changes in my life. So this masculine really needs to assess their current life, their current situation, because there are things in their life now that they really need to make sense of and to decide what stays and what goes. Your children are watched over by angels. Primary concern for a divine masculine. Dear guardian angels of my children, born and unborn, thank you for watching over my children and ensuring their happiness and safety. Please guide me so that I know the best ways to be a good parent and role model for my own and other people's children. And then you have guarded and protected. Thank you for protecting my loved ones and me, ensuring that we're safe and that all of our needs are met. I now accept your help gratefully and gracefully, knowing that it's right for me and all others to accept heavenly assistance. And finally, positive thoughts create positive results. Divine love and wisdom, I call upon you now. I know that my mind and emotions are eternally and continuously connected to you. I ask my higher self to be aware and conscious of the love and light that is within every person and situation. And so just putting all of it together, there's a very strong encouragement for this masculine to realize there is better in their future. There is more that can be experienced, but there's work to be done within themselves, and probably timing is a big factor as well. So hopefully this resonates for divine masculines, or if you're a divine feminine watching this, you can understand your divine masculine a little better. And I hope this helps. Till next time.